Let's get to it, because one of our absolute favorite players to watch when he played was the one and only Vince Wilfork. And now he's teamed up with Food Network to do this really fun series called NFL Tailgate Takedown, Perloff. It premiered last Wednesday, January 4th. It's on Food Network. It's streaming on Discovery Plus. This was a tour of different games all season long with different tailgates. Vince, it's Maggie and Perloff here in New York. Thanks so much for the time today.
Thank you guys for having me. How are you?
We're doing fantastic, and it's so great to talk with you, and especially to talk food. So give us your perfect tailgate menu.
Listen, I'm not picky. Only thing I'm picky about is I have to have some type of protein. I'm not a snacks guy. Give me some type of meat and let it be good. So I'm not too difficult.
All right, Vince, I make a mean game day chili, but I have to tell you, it's made with ground turkey. That's kind of weak, right? Would that satisfy you on a Sunday?
It is weak, but I like turkey, so I'll give you a pass.
All right, well, you're invited over, if you're in Brooklyn, New York, you can come by.
No, I don't. Of chili.
No, I don't want chili. Give me a New York strip, okay? We can go from there.
Well, my neighborhood is pizza, and that doesn't have a protein. Have you guys ever done that on the show?
I'm telling you what I want. Give me a steak. You can have the pizza. Keep the pizza for the kids. For Vince, he want a nice porterhouse or a New York. Give me that, and I'm okay.
Listen, it's a man who knows what he wants. It's Vince Wilfork. Just got inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame, which was really exciting, and was a semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What an excellent career you had, Vince. I'm curious, because you know what you like to eat. You have a former teammate who's kind of famous for his diet the other way. Did Tom Brady ever try to recruit you onto the TB12 method?
Not a chance. He knew better there. So, Tom is just a different animal. He's different beast, and everybody has what it takes for them. Me, I'm a meat and potato type guy. Tom, he's more on a rabbit diet type guy, and I get it. 45 years old and still going strong, so he's doing something right. So I can't fault him.
Yeah, more importantly, did you ever try to recruit him to your side, get him to come over to a barbecue?
Always try to recruit him over to the dark side, and he just kind of smiled and keep it moving. So I'm like, okay, well, one of these days, just once.
We're talking with Vince Wilfork. It was funny. I was watching your Patriots Hall of Fame induction speech, and Robert Kraft put it this way. He said the Patriots won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years and then 3 more in 5 years. And the only 2 players who were part of both of those mini dynasties were you and Tom Brady. Do you have anything else in common with Tom? Because on the outside, it doesn't really look like it.
I really never thought about that. That was, when I played it, I just played because I love the game. But all these stats and stuff, I never follow. So that's a pretty good stat. I mean, it makes me feel good that I was in it from the old school and old school and new school. I was part of both of them. So I'm pretty sure that's pretty cool to be in something with Tom Brady when it comes in the end of the day.
Yeah, congratulations. You guys both tormented every other team in the league for going on basically 2 decades. Could you see Tom returning to New England if he decides to move on from Tampa Bay? Could he have a reunion with Belichick?
No, I believe anything is possible, honestly. But I think Tom would want to be at a place that he's a contender, and you have to ask yourself if Patriots is a real contender, Some people might say no, they far from it. Some people might say, they close. So I don't know, but I think anything is possible. Patriots may go in and make a huge splurge in the offseason and in the draft, and all of a sudden they have a team put together that's capable of making a push. But everything is always up in the air. You never know until offseason and draft come around, and what's available and kind of see where teams stack against each other. All I know in New England Patriots in the division now it's talent. I mean, it's stacked. It's not a division where you can go in and say, oh yeah, Buffalo's going to run away with it, or New England's going to run away. No, all 4 of those teams, they're pretty solid now, so those days of just one team running away in that division, I believe is over for a while.
Vince, I was so surprised by some of the ways the Patriots lost games this year. I mean, just look at Week 18. Special teams, giving up special team touchdowns. I kind of thought that was a Belichick signature. What do you think of their struggles sort of the last couple years where they're not the same Bill Belichick Patriots?
Yeah, I think a lot has to do with the players, honestly. It's the quality of players and just understanding how important it is to play as a team with consistent. And the Patriots made a lot of bonehead plays over the past 2 years, especially just talking about this past year. Mistakes that they made is normally a Bill Belichick team. They don't make those mistakes. You know, we used to laugh at teams and we used to, put those teams on, on a video screen and say, hey, we can't play like this and we won't play like this. But now all of a sudden, they become that team. So I think that's a lack of focus, honestly. And it starts with the players. You know, players got to understand coaches coach, players play. You know, it was a lot of times that I got defensive calls I didn't like, but I had to try to execute it to the best of my ability, and I think it's too many people that's individuals instead of being one. Everybody want to make a play. Your team, you start listening to outside of the building and what you need to do and what they need to do, and individuals take it upon themselves to try to do that. And that's a no-no. So at the end of the day, you got to stick to the course and stick to the plan because, you got 11 is better than 1. This is not basketball where you can just shoot and score 50 points, and that's good enough. A quarterback can go out and throw for 5 touchdowns and still can lose a game. So if every piece isn't working together, it won't work. And I think there was a lot of misunderstanding going on this year and a lot of inconsistency there.
How did your Patriots team not have bigger egos? It seemed like you always had team first guys all over both sides of the football. There must have been guys who read outside headlines or wanted to do, star in their own way, but it doesn't seem like that ever happened during your years in New England.
Yeah, but when I came there, I was veteran. I got drafted to a veteran team, and everybody had one goal is to be the best we could possibly be, to win how many championships we possibly could. We weren't worrying about the money. We weren't worrying about how much playing time we get in. We weren't worried about what the coaches is called. We weren't worried about any of that. We were all from an era where winning was everything. And we play football because we like the camaraderie and we like the fraternity as a team. So when I was there, we was built off of guys like Lawton Harris and Willie McGinnis and Eddie Bruschi, Ty Law. That leadership quality that we had, Tywan, Seymour, we were the young bunch, but those guys laid the foundation. Like, hey, one thing we ain't going to do, we're not going to be selfish. We're going to play this game. We're going to play it. This is how we're going to play it. And we fell in line. I think over time, people start with the salary cap. And it seems like to me, football now is more about what you can do outside of football than the football game now. You have so many football players want to be rappers. They want to have the clothing line. They want to have everything going on besides what really matters. What you get paid to do is play football. And that's the problem. And that's this is new generation that we're in. They have access to more than what we had access to because we was built differently. That's just we were just built different. We was the last Mohicans. So it's just a different football and different era. And you have to, as a coach, you have to understand how to kind of relate to that now. And that sucks as a coach, but it comes from a lot of leadership from your leaders. And when you have a team that don't have a lot of leaders, you in trouble. And you see a lot of football teams really struggling now because the leadership quality isn't there like it used to be.
Man, and the Patriots are losing potentially 2 big ones if Devin McCourty and Matthew Slater are going to be calling it a career. I know those guys had such incredible runs. Vince, can't tell you how much we appreciate this. Love NFL Tailgate Takedown. It premiered last week, but you can find it now. Food Network Wednesdays at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time and Pacific, and it's streaming on Discovery Plus. We have so many questions for you, but we're flat out of time. I mean, just loved your Patriots Hall of Fame induction where Bill Belichick says, I learned so much from Vince Wilfork. Yep. I can't imagine what it was like to hear that. We got 30 seconds. What did you teach Belichick, Vince?
I don't know. You have to ask Bill because if I tell you, I learned everything that I possibly know what I knew about football from Bill. So I guess we was teaching each other. Maybe he's seen how humble I was and just what a sponge I was and what it meant to be a football player and play. Because I was one of those guys, just come to work with my hard hat on and never complain, and I just got busy. So
with your overalls on, Vince. I guess that was the Houston years.
And I think a lot of that kind of rolled over to other players as well that kept us together. So I owe a lot to Bill Belichick because I've learned a lot from that guy.
Well, it was so fun watching you play. It's fun to watch this TV show where you get to go all around the country at different tailgates. Fantastic job. Thank you so much, and good luck with the show.
All right, thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I totally get what Vince is saying. I'm a protein guy. I mean, him and I maybe don't look alike, but we both like the same food. I'm totally a protein guy.
Yeah,
you're a pizza.
You're not a snacker.
No, you're not. And you're a pizza. That's your number one tailgate food, right?
Number one. Number one food everywhere.